Now, look, on to Harry more particularly. You would undoubtedly remember he admitted in his book to taking recreational drugs. Here's him being asked about it.
Fair amount of drugs. Marijuana, magic mushrooms, cocaine. I mean, that's going to surprise people.
But important to acknowledge.
And this week it's been reported that Prince Harry may face some difficulty keeping his US visa, given that exact admission. Is that a serious concern, do you think, or do you think that's a bit of a beat up?
Well, I do think that it is a cause for some concern at the very least. You have to remember that Prince Harry is not an American citizen, and even some states that have legalized the use of marijuana, for instance, that's just for American citizens. Federal law with regards to non-citizens is far stricter with regards to drug use and to any sort of illegal activities that include DUIs. And so all eyes will be on him, because obviously with situations that involve such high-profile individuals, you want to at least fairly apply the law, because it could be quite scandalous if it's seen that Prince Harry is getting favourable treatment. Look, the reality is the man is not very bright. I'm sure many people would have told him that if you're in a legal dispute with the Home Office regarding your security and think that you face a high level of security, probably putting your Taliban kill count in your book is not helping matters. In the same way, if you know that you are a resident in a country where you are not a citizen and you're trying to apply for permanent stay, or at the very least telling the world that you have used drugs that are highly legal in many parts of the US, and in the case of cocaine, the entirety of the US, is not a good idea. But it just shows how short-sighted the couple are, and how they put my truth ahead of logic and reason, and even ahead of the safety of their own family, because there will be repercussions with regards to this. If in the worst case scenario, Harry is denied permanent residence in the US, for instance, he would have no choice but to come to the UK. Now, I don't know many people in the UK that would actually want to see him, but there's also implications for his children with that regard. In the same way, you raise your level of risk if you reveal intimate details about your time in combat. That has repercussions on your children, and most people would have the sense to see that. But unfortunately, the Sussexes seem to have other priorities with regards to that.
But that does make you wonder, doesn't it, how well thought out some of these interviews were, and whether they actually in the long term serve as a net benefit or a net negative.
Absolutely. I mean, I've made the point that the people that were around the Sussexes at the time that they've done all this sort of media exposés just saw dollar signs when they saw the couple, and so I don't think they got any really decent counsel. But at the same time, these are grown people. Meghan is in her 40s, Harry is not far off. I don't think it takes a genius to tell you that once you are married and you have a family and you have people that depend on you, it's not a good idea to make yourself a target to the likes of the Taliban or the US immigration system. So there's so many things that come into this, but the reality is this is a short-sighted couple that had clearly other priorities other than the ones that would more concern the average day person, like safety and security and dignity for that matter.